Stay Ukrainian, my friends. Stay
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's me, Ron Cahoot, with
Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
Boris Volushka, this is We Love UA.
We love UA, yes.
Is that your sort of head manning that?
Yes, we've about a year ago decided to bring a group of volunteers together. We branded it We Love UA and decided to do projects outside of the standard Zabava kind of projects that we used to. This year, as you know, Canada is celebrating 150 years. And Ukrainian heritage in Canada now runs for about 125. And I thought this is a good opportunity to have an exhibit that highlights some of the older generation, the first, second wave, and some of the recent ones. It's a bit of a contrast, not only in the quality of the photos, but in the lifestyle and the role that Ukrainians had in Canada and the contribution.
Well, the colored photos have a wonderful lifestyle because of the black and white photos.
And that's exactly the message I was hoping to get. And some of our speakers today, I'm hoping they can highlight as well. Because I don't think there would be a Blur Festival the way it is, or the Mega Zabavas the way it was, if it wasn't for the foundation that has been built by our first, second generations of Ukrainians. And the way they went about it is not just what can we get out of this, what do you offer? It's about putting their own money, putting their own effort, building brick by brick. And that's something that I think should be remembered, should be cherished, that should be continued. And the volunteers that are here tonight and people 5th, 6th, 10th wave down the road should also remember that and continue that effort.
This here, the black and white section, is why we're here.
I find it very magical. Like, I didn't see them before. I got a chance by working. I was very fortunate to have this exhibit from Shevchenko Museum. Also have on the other side an exhibit from Ukrainian Canadian Research Documentary Center. So those are the two main contributors of the historic photos. And when you look at those photos, there is some magic about it. There's something different, something. You know, you look at those faces and it tells a story.
Well, this is wonderful. You should be very proud of this. The pictures are phenomenal. They're all on loan, I will suppose.
Yes, a lot of them. I mean, this modern side, we were just printed ourselves. We reached out to local artists. A lot of them are our own, and Mr. Skvarnik contributed a beautiful photo. So we were hoping for this pilot project to be called continue, and perhaps there will be an opportunity to feature that same exhibit down in for the Independence Day or Blur Festival. I got a call yesterday from out west saying, this is something that perhaps should be a moving exhibit and be seen by people coming from Ukraine, so they understand what really we went through. And see the contrast by, on one end you see Ukrainians in camps, on the other side you see taking selfies with the Prime Minister. This is the almost mirror opposite of where we used to be and where we are. And that's something that a lot of us coming here, immigrants like myself, are not aware of. And that, their struggles, as you said, there were the foundations, and something like that should be educated. And not everybody, unfortunately, that comes here is able to be educated about it, other than what I call a social setting, a sort of a wine and cheese event, just to encourage people to come and get together.
Well, listen, well done. As always, well done. All the stuff you do, well done. Well done. You're an asset to the diaspora and the Ukrainian community in this city.
It's always a pleasure. It's deep.
Nice shirt. Stay Ukrainian, my friend, but hey, always. If you're not, nobody is. Oksana Rogatin, we have a lot of things in common.
Yes, we do. The name Buria is one of them.
Yeah, your dog's named Buria. You and I go back a long, long ways in here, and in Canada, in Toronto, and then, of all places, I ran into you in Sydney, Australia when
Absolutely,
we were there.
Yes.
But one of the things that we have in common along with this exhibit is this poster behind you here. Do you remember those?
I do. Ukrainian Heritage Day at Ontario Place. They were the best afternoons.
There were tens of thousands of people.
So they had two concerts, one afternoon concert, one evening concert, and they're from as far as Vancouver to Sarnia, Ontario, to Windsor. We had from all over Canada. Every year they had different talent. I think they had the Bandurista from Detroit a few times also, and then of course they had the wonderful trio of Verkhovena.
Yes.
I love them. And so, no, it was wonderful. And because every concert, you would have people who'd stay from morning till night. You'd have at least 10, 15,000 people sitting there just waiting for the concert. It was a wonderful, wonderful thing. It was great that everybody came together, and everybody was so supportive, and it was just, I think, one of the best things. And it's unfortunate that we don't have that at Ontario Place anymore.
Well, as I told Doris Toluchka, I hope people get this, that the colored pictures are because the black and white pictures exist.
Exactly right.
And I hope people get that.
But I think this is such a wonderful exhibit also, the fact that we've got photos from the 1800s, going back to, and we just had a lecture here a few weeks ago with Professor Lutsuk about Conneval. And here's a photo of Conneval getting a medal from King George IV. I mean, how fantastic is that? And then you've got the first immigrants coming out. You've got things like Ontario Place and, a Plast. And it's just wonderful. It's an absolutely amazing exhibit, and it's worth coming out to see. We change our exhibits at least once every 2 or 3 weeks, so we're very busy here throughout the year, and there's constantly something going on.
A lot of the photos here, especially of the today stuff, is focused on youth, which I think is wonderful, because we always see historical photos, and there's this great little photo of Stefan Gierek-Brzozowski there as like a 3 or 4 year old child. I love that photo. It's hilarious. He's carrying his little valizka, but most of them are, farmers and community leaders and stuff, but the more modern photos are potentially future community leaders. So, in fact, some of the people that organize this are in these pictures, so very interesting.
Yeah, we look forward to much more coming from the Ukrainian Credit Union, because that's the place to bank, isn't it?
We agree 100%.
It's the only...
So we don't agree 110% because that would be bad math, right? So we only agree 100%.
We leave bad math to others.
Exactly.
Yeah. Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
Stay Ukrainian.
Історія української громади складається з багатьох моментів. Ми всі її формували, формуємо. Завдяки волонтерам, люди, які зробили дуже багато роботи, організаторам, спонсорам та людям, які зберегли ці важливі моменти, у нас сьогодні є можливість пережити ще раз події, дуже важливі події для нашої громади. На нашій виставці зібрано близько 100 таких моментів, які відображають прогрес, розвиток української громади впродовж багатьох років, від перших переселенців впродовж 4-5 хвиль іммігрантів.
Найновіший проєкт – то є усна історія української Канади. Ми переводимо інтерв'ю з людьми, які спричинилися до розвитку української громади в Канаді, що дуже стосується сьогоднішнього вечора. Фотографії, які бачите на стінах з архіву УКДДЦ, і там є кілька також з бібліотеки Інституту Святого Володимира, відзеркалюють зорганізоване українське життя у міжвоєнному періоді, а також в 1950-60-х роках.
It has been estimated that the Ukrainians pioneered 10 million acres of the prairies, or 40% of all of the Canadian wheatland. There have been 4 waves of Ukrainian immigration to Canada. Each succeeding wave has had a huge advantage from the achievements of the previous waves. The first wave, 1891 to 1914, of Ukrainians included mostly farmers seeking land and freedom of opportunity for their children in the first wave period. Some 180,000 Ukrainians came to Canada.
Я приїхав до Канади в 58 році, зорганізовував танцювальний ансамбль «Веслянка». Ми почали взагалі з малої групи, вже 10 танцюристів чи що. За якийсь час ансамбль виріс на досить сильний ансамбль. Ми ще до сьогодні існуємо. На другий рік будемо святкувати вже наше 60-ліття. Наш один з танцюристів є Орест, який організував сьогоднішній вечір.
Stay Ukrainian, my friends. Stay
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's me, Ron Cahoot, with Stay Ukrainian, my friends. Still needs an accordion.